Hey, Shalom, Israel. The I.S.U.P.K presents the Lord's 56th annual Passover going down right here in Atlanta, Georgia. We got a whole bunch of events lined up for y'all, including the annual lamb slaughter. You already know. Then it's the Hebrew Academy trial. Oh boy. Next we got the children's party. Then you know we got General Muhammad's scripture breakdown class and the Hebrew Academy graduation. The Lord's 56th annual Passover. Pay your Passover fee. It's only $200 to get all these exclusive events. Real black culture. The general's in attendance and the stage is set. It's going down. April the 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. This event is only for the black, Hispanic, and Native Indigenous people. We got a week full of events from April the 9th and the 13th. But remember, you gotta pay that Passover fee. It's only $200 to get every event exclusively. Here's the itinerary for the Lord's 56th annual Passover. April the 9th is the annual lamb slaughter. April the 10th is the kids party. At 7 p.m. later that night, General Muhammad's scripture breakdown class. April the 11th, the Hebrew Academy graduation. Later that night at 8 p.m. is the all-black party. April the 12th is the Lord's 56th annual Passover. April the 13th is the Feast of Unleavened Bread. $200, 17 years or older, pay your Passover fee. See you in Atlanta, Israel. Shalom.
I'm being the rep. Niggas ain't never been on my lip. They must got the wrong impression. All my fears and salute my Lord. I took my check. Go through all this just to draw my sword. That shit out the question. Kyle can't call 144. We got the wrong number. Keep talking. I'm deep stroking revenge. She a grown woman. I get 2 Glocks fully loaded, nigga. I call him dumb and dumb. What's wrong with him? He should've known better. He must be on something. Hey, it's Mr. Bring me back that cup. Niggas know they in trouble. Look around, little nigga. You see my breath. Shit, we both came up with trick. I remember when I was lost and on the wrong path. Lies that I told my mother, lies that I told my dad. Remember I walked in the house, he seen all the stress on my head. Called you about that robbery after school, I knew what I did. Victim of peer pressure all along, I guess I was scared. I saw the niggas help me grab that crack, I should've killed her. I understand our oppression, when she died, it was heartbreaking. About to take a trip to Newtown just to say I'm sorry, man. This the only family I gotta play to win. At least I'm for my children, so they ain't victim of their sin. I'm glory, cause I chased away that demon, try to take my kin. Can't taste that pleasures with a vengeance, he'll be back again. Niggas move by emotions, I'm a soldier, I can't comprehend. There's no when Satan put that pressure on him, he'll probably been. Jumped off in that water, he can hardly swim. Strap on me, to protect my people, I'm on God. I got a crazy bitch, love the crazy in me, call her Harley Quinn. Remember what you did for me back then, always a long friend. Fix my nigga threw his life away, I'm in a dark place. You supposed to be right here with me, you chose the wrong side. Wasn't always friends, we locked in, I been no, I can't go like that, my lord, no, not this time. I am the rep, ask about I being the rep. Niggas ain't never been on my lip, they must got the wrong impression. All my fears and salute my Lord, I bet some niggas told me some real shit. When YAHANNA said, God ain't 50-50, he revealed. Then Muhammad said, you had these little things, you get to kill shit. I was lost, I thank the Lord, he put that zeal on me late. Don't say that, hold up, fuck that. I thank the Lord, he put that zeal on me late. So I got niggas up on Willow Road that still owe me a favor. It was a nigga up on Barron Roads putting me on case. Shit, I know a nigga up on Stain Road that shoot nice like little baby. Could've went crazy, you think you the one with trauma, huh? Nigga, please, I was with them boys in the hood, just like Jordan did. Some shit I ain't gon' never tell. Ones that know it's God in me. Why I get that mercy, Lord? Don't know why you guarded me. God, I know you love me. You saved my life that night on New Year's Eve. So I was out there riding with them demons like a thief. Lord, I'm still trying to change. Please don't bring that darkness shit. It ain't hard to back with me, but I am the wrong one to tell. I let some brothers down to this day. It's my biggest regret. But I know this oath I took forgiveness is a bigger flex. The only reason I made the call, only reason I confess, so I can ride and watch the world burn, just like Arthur Fleck. I am the rip. Hold on.
Test 1 2 1 2. Test 1 2 1 2. Hey, shalom, everybody. Shalom. How about Shemel Shah Bracha Thumb to all the brothers and how Shamar Allah Thumb by Shemel Shah to all the sisters. It's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. It's out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General YAHANNA. It's the Friday night Lashawan Qadash class, Hebrew class out here in Durham, North Carolina. Priest and Officer 1000 holding it down. Today's gonna be a brief class. We're just gonna go over. We'll get some vocabulary today and just kind of revisit just a little bit of what we did last time we were here. Where our new focus is to kind of simplify things by focusing more so on vocabulary and, dial back a little bit of the grammar stuff we've been kind of real heavy on for some time. The purpose being, because again, you can communicate a lot easier. Or you can get your message across by knowing more words than if you know more grammar. You know what I'm saying? Like you can know all the grammar in the world, and that will make it harder for you to communicate versus if you know more words and less grammar. You know what I'm saying? If you, as again, we talked about it before, that's why if you notice a lot of foreigners, who learn to speak English, right? You'll notice that they have some words, but the grammar is off, So, but still, they're able to communicate well enough, again, just to get certain points across. So bear with me just a moment here. Let me just make sure the audio is good. It should be to but let me make sure. Salakia. Okay, good to go. Also, let me just move this camera up just a little bit so I can see good. And like I said, we're not gonna be here too long. We're not gonna, do too much new stuff. Just keep it simple today. Also, don't forget, Lord's Passover going down, right? Make sure that y'all get all y'all affairs in order for that. I believe it's April 12th. All right. Okay. So last thing we talked about were adjectives. Now, again, I know I said no grammar, but bear with me. We were only talking about adjectives in a way to get to some vocabulary, really using it as vocabulary so we can kind of say certain simple sentences and just begin this process again of basic communication. So we understood an adjective was simply a word that qualifies or describes a noun, right? Because then we can say simple things like what? I am hungry, I am thirsty, I am cold, I am hot, I am afraid, I am happy, right? I am strong, and so on, right? And we found out in first person that there's a few ways to say it. We could say Anya and then the word, or we could say the word and then Anya, because in Hebrew you can actually switch them, the noun and the adjective. You can it's the agreement goes either way. So you can say Anya Ra'ib, I'm hungry, or you can say Ra'ib Anya, and they mean the exact same thing. There's no difference. We also talked about how there's a shortened form where you can use I at the beginning of a word. Ra'ib, I am thirsty, or I'm thirsty, right? We also talked about how sometimes this is a possessive that goes at the end of a Hebrew word, right? And how that can also be used to as a pronoun at times, right? It's a possessive as in mine or my, but it's also can be used in this case of a an object pronoun. Salakia. God. In the case of a object pronoun, excuse me, subject pronoun, right? And so that's what we learned, right? We could then go further with this, and I guess we'll learn one more new pronoun, right? We learned a knock nawa. That's first person, but that's plural first person. So I guess just for to add something to the list, we'll do let's do third person singular. We'll do third person singular, okay? Yeah, that we'll be quick with it, brief with it. Salakia. Just gotta find my notes. Oh, that's good. I don't remember doing that at all, but most thank Christ. Where we at with it? Not this one. Here we go. Nope, not that one. I think it's this. Yeah, here we go. Con. So again, all these are first person. I is first person singular, and we is first person plural. So now we'll do third person singular. Right? So third person singular would be what? Well, actually, let's do two. We'll do second person. We'll do second person singular, and we'll do third person singular. So like I was looking for my eraser. Oh, there it is. Right? So we're gonna do third person singular and second person singular. Right? To make it simple, second person singular is saying you, and then third person singular would be what? It would be saying what? He or she. Right? And we'll keep these same vocabulary words up here for now. Right? Definitely got to clean this board, but it's all good. Y'all should be able to see that. So you is what? We all should know this one, right? The pronoun for you, we all should know because we use it in our greeting, right? We say, so for the brothers, hey, shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Barak, Atha, right? And the same for the sisters. Shalom says, Yahweh Shema Alatha B'Hashem Yahushua. The word for you doesn't have a gender because you is just, I'm talking to you. It's second person. So there's no gender for that. It's you. You're the person that's being spoken to. So it's Atha. Right? In ancient Assyrian, Atha. Right? He. So this is first person. I mean, this is second person. And then we got third person. Both are singular. So the masculine, of course, because if now we're talking about a third person, it is gendered because it's either he or she, right? So he, the pronoun, and again, without getting too deep, most of the time these are going to be used as what? As object pronouns, subject pronouns, right? Just meaning that this will be describing the subject of the sentence. He is tall. She is young, and so on. So he is Hawa'ah. Hawa'ah. And we're going to see some examples of these in the scriptures too. All right, Salaki. So Assyrian, ha, wa, ah. In ancient, ha, wa, ah. Okay. And then the last one for the third person singular, right, is she. Which is ha-ya'ah. Right? Assyrian. Ya'ah. Ancient. Ha-ya'ah. All right? And so the same thing we did last week, we could plug and play these pronouns into these adjectives because that's how they work together. And remember that a pronoun is just what? A word used in place of a noun. Because in any of these senses, we could replace it with the sentence could be what? It could be a excuse me, what's the word? It's a noun, but like a proper noun, right? Because if I say he is hungry, well, he has a name. I could say the brother's name, right? When we had I up here, right? He said, you say, I am hungry, but I have a name. It would just be what? It would be weird, even though people do it, but it would be strange to speak in, that's what they call it, speaking in first person, or speaking in third person, excuse me. If a person, instead of saying I, they say their name, they call that speaking in third person. because you're referring to yourself as if you're not yourself, but someone else. Like you're talking about a person that's not you, right? But in any sense, these replace proper nouns or nouns. And instead of me having to say a sister's name to say she is a seamstress, right? Then I can just say she. I can replace it with this. Okay. But yeah, so now we can say Hawa'a Ra'ib, he is hungry. Right? Haya'a Tazama'a, she is thirsty. We can flip it. Kwar Haya'a, she is cold, or technically if you flip it, cold she is, or cold is she. Right? Say Yara'a. Yara'a Atha. I could ask it. I could put a question like inflection in my voice and say Yara'a Atha. Are you afraid? And there's so many ways. So again, that's why learning the vocabulary is going to be so helpful to us. We can simplify a lot of the grammar stuff, and just knowing all of this, we can again kind of plug and play, the things around the vocabulary. Okay. I can say you are wise. Right? I can say Atha Kakum. You are wise. Okay. So now let's get a couple examples of these from the scriptures, right? Let's go to the scriptures and just get a couple examples of these pronouns, right? And then we're going to go into a quick thing of kind of just newer vocabulary. It probably won't be adjectives, but nonetheless, it'll be just some new words to learn. Salakia. Salakia. Quick example. Well, you get one of each, right? Just one for each. Maybe we'll do two. Now we probably need to do two. Let's get one example for each. Right? Okay. So no, I don't want to use that one. I could, but I don't want to use that one. I think this one might be good. If we go to Genesis 20 and 13. Genesis 20 and 13, right? And I'm going to read it in the English first, and I'll read it in the Hebrew. This is the book of Genesis chapter 20 and verse 13. And it came to pass, when the Most High caused me to wander from my father's house, that I said unto her, this is thy kindness, which thou shalt show unto me. At every place whither we shall come, say of me, he is my brother. Right? So now we read this in the Hebrew. We're looking for that phrase, he is my brother. Now, my brother is technically not an adjective, but we're just looking at the usage of the phrase he is, or he in the sentence. And let's see if that's where we expect it to be. Right? Wayahaya, Ka'ashar, Ha, it's like Ha Tha'aiwa, Athaya, Alahayim, Mabayath, Abiyah, Wa Amar, Laha, Za, Kasadka, Ashar, the Aishaya, Ibadya, Salakia, Imadya, Al, Kal, Ha, Makwum, Ashar, Nabawa'ah, Shema, Amarya, Laya, Akhya, Hawa'ah. There it is. Akhya, Hawa'ah. Akhya means what? Remember the sentence is, he is my brother. Akhya means my brother. Ak is brother, and Ya at the end of a word is my, like we said before, right? Possessive. Akhya, my brother, and then the Hawa'ah is at the end. So basically saying, my brother he is. Right? We'll write it in Syrian, just to keep things. I always do that. Let me fix that. Salaki. Akia. Hawa. All right. He is my brother. All right. Now we're not gonna. I'm gonna leave a thought alone because we use a thought enough. We know how a thought functions. We use it all the time in our greetings and so on. But now let's find she. Let's find an example of she. Bear with me. Nope. Now, you know what? I mean, should I skip ahead? I don't know if I should. Because there's another way to say she. Like, you know how I show you can say like I by putting something at the beginning of a word, the I at the beginning of a word. You can do the same thing with she and he and so on. But I don't want to go too far and confuse anybody. Not just yet. So let's just do one based on what we have on the board. Mm-mm. Wait, what? That's not the one I'm looking for. I must have wrote that wrong. Salakia. 1931. I knew something was wrong. There we go. Mm-hmm. Okay, I got it. Here we go. Jeez. Okay, Genesis 14:2. Is that the one I want? Probably not. God, Genesis 20:5. Oh, that's perfect because that's exactly all right, see, check this out too. So there's scriptures that are say she, but they'll use hawa'a, right? But it explains that if you look in Blue Letter, in the Brown Driver Briggs lexicon, it explains. See, masculine. Hawa'a is the masculine. I don't know if I can see that. Hawa'a is the masculine, and haya'a is the feminine. Read that at the top. Okay, but then it tells you why sometimes it says she, but it says hawa'a. It says the punctuators, however, sought to assimilate the usage of the Pentateuch to that of the rest of the Old Testament, and accordingly, wherever hawa'a was construed as a feminine, pointed it hawa'a, right? So they changed it to hawa'a in certain instances. Mm. She went and did according to the right. It's supposed to say haya'a, but no sweat. We found it, but it's I don't you can't because they put hawa'a so many places. It's hard to find one where it says haya'a, but haya'a is as it says is the correct feminine form of it. So if we wanted to say she is my sister, we would simply just change the word for sister as akwath to say my sister. Let's say akwathia. So to say she is my sister would be what? It would be akwathia. Akwath. Yeah. Haya'a. All right. But now let's get to some vocabulary, just some new words. All right. We're just gonna add these words to our repertoire. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's really a particular theme, just some cool words I found. Not I found, but that I have in my notes. Mm-mm. So we got a couple of phrases here. We're gonna just, break them down, how to say them in Hebrew, how to spell them. So to lie down is Slakia. Labataza. I always messed up this letter. It's been a while. There we go. Kind of should be right. Yeah, kind of. Rabataza. Bow is Karai. Who is Maya? That's literally an interrogative pronoun. So if you wanted to say, who are you? You would say, Maya. Who can guess the next part? It's on the board. If we want to say, who are you? How will we say that? We can see it easily right here. Hold up. If you go to Genesis, Joshua 9 and 8, tells you exactly how to say, who are you or who are ye? Right? It's exactly what we would think based on what we've been learning. The same way we would say, Akia Hawa'a or Akwathia Hawa'a to say she is my sister or he is my brother. And remember, we can flip it. We could say Hawa'a Akia or Haya'a Akwathia. You say it either way. Well, and same thing with who are you? Depending on how it is. Now, in this particular scripture, it's plural. So when it says who are ye, he's not talking to one person. So we wouldn't use a th, but we're going to use a variation of it to reflect that it's plural. So it's where we're learning the other the plural form of a th, the second person plural form, or you all, which is a thumb. But if if I was to say to one person, who are you? You would assume, right? We would come to the conclusion, well, based on what we learned, it would have to be what? Maya, Atha. Who? You. Isn't that how black people talk anyway? Who you? Right? Well, that is absolutely true. That is how it would be said. So let's read it in Joshua 9 and 8. And they said unto Joshua, we are thy servants. And Joshua said unto them, who are ye? And from whence come ye? In Hebrew, Waya Amarwa al Yahawashai, Abadyaka, Anaknawa. See, we learned Anaknawa the other week. They said, we are thy servants by saying, thy servants we are. Abadyaka, Anaknawa. See, simple 1-2 punch. Waya Amar, Alham, Yahawashai, Maya, a thumb. Maya, a thumb. Who are you? We'll say this you was, we'll say plural. Like you all. It would be Maya. A thumb. Maya, a thumb. The singular form would then just be what? Maya, a tha. Right? So that's what Maya is. It's the question. It's the interrogative pronoun for like a person. Who? You know what I'm saying? To replace the other pronouns. Couple more. Wake up is Iwara. I-wa-ra. Between is Bayun. If you go to Genesis 3 and 15, we'll see this word Bayun used exactly as we said as the word for between, but we will also see something we discussed before, the usage of a possessive as a pronoun, specifically as an object pronoun, right? In English, and I will put Genesis 3:15, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman. That's what makes it an object pronoun, not a subject, because the thee here is not the one performing the action. I, the Most High, is the one performing the action. He says I. So let's see what he said, and we'll see it in Hebrew. But and I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Now we read it in the Hebrew. Salakia. Let me get forward into linear. There we go. Wa ayaba ashayath bayanka. Wa bayan ha-asha wa bayan zaraika wa bayan zaraiha hawa'a ya shawapka ra'ash wa atha tashawapnawa iquab. See that word bayan, between, is used multiple times. He's saying, but he's saying between thee and her seed, between this and that, between this and that. That's why bayan is used that many times. But notice when it said between thee, it said bayanka. Ka at the end of a word is a possessive pronoun. Usually that would mean like your or thy, like thy name or thy face or thy house. Something belongs to you. But sometimes it can be used again as an object pronoun, because in this sentence, I will put enmity between thee and someone. The Most High is doing the work, so he's the subject, but he's going to do something to you. So you're the object, or to, in this sense, to the serpent. The serpent is the object of the sentence. That's why that ka can be used to mean you there. Okay? Just a couple more and we done. Depart, these two words are related. Depart and turn are related words. The word for, first we'll do, the word for turn, we all know the word for turn is sar. The word for turn is sar. Okay? That's why we say in the class, we do the prayers, sar, turn, and face the teacher, right? Sar is just two letters. Right? The word for depart is sawar. Remember, this is a good word to show how we always teach that the ing, so to speak, and I'm always very careful with that, because ing in English doesn't always mean the same thing. But we're talking about ing as in forming like a verb, taking like a noun or something and adding the ing to turn it into a continuous action. Again, I'll use this example all the time. If I say hooping, right? Or say snowboarding, right? Like a snowboard is a object. It's a thing. It's a noun. But snowboarding is an action, right? There's many examples of that, but that's the kind of ing that the wa does in a Hebrew word. When you add wa, you add this wa here, right? It takes this and turns it into an ing or action-based form of it, right? Or a continuous action. And sometimes it's not just a continuous action. Sometimes it just it's like an inflection that just adds a dimension to it. So in the case, so sar, to turn, is already an action, but the process or the turning conceptually is where you get this word to depart, because I'm turning away from you, right? If I depart, if I'm leaving, I'm turning away from you, right? And then the last word, stick or staff, is Shabbat. All right. And I'll just write that in the thing so we can know. God, Most High in Christ. Hey, Thawada, that was just, again, a little quick lesson, a couple of quick vocabulary words, quick understanding on just some basic grammatical stuff. Again, we're going to try to tone it down a little bit, you know what I'm saying, not get too heavy. You just keep it vocabulary words. We want to learn some strong vocabulary words. So next week I'm going to try to have some really strong vocabulary words that we can just start implementing more, like, soon and often. You know what I'm saying? Basic stuff we would use in our everyday lives. You know what I'm saying? Are there any questions online? No sweat. Con. Most High in Christ. All right, so with that, we're going to clip it right there. To the brother who say Shalom, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah Brakathum. And to the sisters, Shalom, Yahweh Shema Alathun Bashem Yahweh Shah. Shalom.
Welcome to Atlanta. Christ, it's Officer 5000, Jeremiah, the camp leader of Atlanta. Passover 2025, starting April the 9th, we got the lamb slaughter. April the 10th, we got General Muhammad's class. April the 11th, we got the black party that's going to have the Hebrew graduation. April the 12th, in Atlanta, Georgia, the 56th annual Passover, the only Passover under Commander Junior YAHANNA.
Our great and holy King has honored us for turning our lives from the darkness to the light, man. There's no greater gift you can receive than to wake up to the truth and then commit your life to saving your brothers, man. Looking in their eyes and seeing their faces and seeing what they've suffered and what they've gone through and seeing the end of it, man. It is a guaranteed seat in the kingdom of heaven, man. So in the name of our King Yahushua, we dedicate us another Passover of brothers and sisters' lives being saved.
April the 13th, we got the Feast of Unleavened Bread.
Shalom.